and welcome to another video, actually, whatever you want to call it. This is the first episode of the MyCareer series. So, jerseys here. Most of this I'm going to talk in first person, starting from when I started. So, Hoover Bobcats. I play for them. I'm the star small forward. I've been scoring quite a lot of points for them for this season, teaming up with people I've started to learn how to play with them, learn what to do in different situations. So my teammates would include Nigel Walker, Zabian Panko. Zabian Panko never really understood how I was supposed to pronounce it. Sometimes Zabian. I never knew how to pronounce it. But I always called him Zabian Panko. Then you got me playing the small forward, and then you have a pretty good power, like our second best player on the team, Justin Frazier. He's a pretty good all-around player. And then you got Donta Bledsoe, who's a really good ball handler. He wanted to handle the ball for us, but coach decided to let either Walker, Panko, or me handle the ball. And we'd be facing up against our rivals, the Lincoln Bulldogs, who had Andrew Floyd, who's a pretty good point guard, knows how to dribble, knows how to score quite a bit of points. You have Trevor Sullivan, who's pretty good at the mid-range, but does not have a three-point shot. And then you have their star, who I'm going to have to be guarding and going to have to score off him, Evan Hardaway. He's very expressive. He likes to show his emotion. He's a pretty good player from what I've heard and what we've played them once before. But this would be the big game. Then they had Lambros Agravanis, I never really knew where he was from, but he was not from the United States. Then you have Oscar Schultz. He's one of the biggest guys in our high school league. He's very big, so we'll see how that ends up working out. It's definitely going to be a tightly contested game. The benches, we have Jeremy Ming and Shane Ardiel, who's a very good defender. That's all he really is good at. You got Kesh backing me up, and then you have Billy Preston and Gregory. And for them, they have on their bench, they have Kobe Simmons, who's typically has the ball for them, typically the ball handler from the bench. James Young, 3 Gonzalez, which first name I've never really known, but he goes by 3. Goes by the name 3 Gonzalez. You got Kevin Red, and then you got Isaiah Hicks. It's definitely going to be an interesting game. So we'll see if we can pull out a victory here. Here we go, the championship game here. Let me just do this quickly because it's going to be annoying. Commentary. All this could stay the same, but I just don't want that. Alright. So, as I went over earlier, they have a pretty good group. Gonna have to be guarding Evan Hardaway. He's known as a pretty good player. There he is right there, and the jerseys are interesting look. So we're hoping to get the tip, and Donta was unable to beat Otis Schultz. No, I always confuse him with Otis, but his name is actually Oscar. I'm a little bit bigger than Evan Hardaway, so we'll see if that. All right. The miss there. Driving on the fast break, taking the layup, and I get fouled there. First foul on Evan Hardaway. Let's see if I can get this free throw to go. My form has not been the best. I'm trying to work on it, but I was able to get the second one. Not the best with my form. My form is not very good, even though I'm a good free throw shooter in my past. I was able to get the rebound, trying to start a fast break. Pass to Walker, who's wide open for the mid-range, and we take a 3-point lead. This is the first possession for them. They pass to Agravanis inside on Frazier. We're pretty evenly matched. But Justin Frazier reaches in, and it's his first foul of the game. He's not very happy. We're away, so we're on their home. We're on their home turf. Can't leave him open, or else he's gonna drain it. We got lucky with that first possession. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Floyd is forced to put a shot over Zabian. I get the rebound and look for a pass. I pass up to Panko, who's wide open in the corner, and makes the three. We pull out to a 6-0 lead. Lincoln High School has been known as a pretty good team, but I never knew how good they could really be. They have quite a good history. They've had 17 high school championships, so they're a pretty good basketball school. Alright, me and Donta set the pick for Walker. Nothing there. I get the screen from Donta, and I drive by and go for the contested layup, but it's off. I try to get back, but Evan Hardaway is all the way up with the court, and they tell me to go on Floyd. And the bucket from Trevor Sullivan. This game is very interesting so far. I set the screen for Walker, but he doesn't really do anything. I got the mismatch on. I start posting up, and I try to go for the fade, and it goes in. So far, I had a pretty good game, but Evan Hardaway is not going to make that too easy, because he's probably going to find ways to get open. And they're able to hit the three. I believe that was Oscar Schultz, but I could be wrong. I pass into Frazier, but he goes out to the three, which I was kind of upset about. I'm trying to find someone open, but nobody's open, so I try and post up. I pass to Walker, but he doesn't take the shot. Frazier sets the pick for him. Walker forced to take the contested layup, and he misses. Agravanis was able to get the rebound. I play defense on the fast break, but he steps back and hits the mid-range. It's going to be a really tough game because Hardaway is not going to make it easy. He's not going to let it be easy. He's locking me down so far. I try to go around him. I go around him, and I drive in and get blocked by Oscar Schultz. I try to get back, but it's not in time. But luckily, the big man decides to take the shot. Frazier decides he would take it up. I pass it to Donta. I let him dribble because I already know that he's one of the best centers at dribbling. I take the layup over Schultz, but it's off. Not having the best game. I've been 1 for 4 so far. I'm unable to get anything going against Evan Hardaway. I'm trying to play defense, but he's moving around. Zabian Panko almost gets the steal, but Frazier is able to get the steal. I pass up to Panko, but he doesn't really do anything with it. Donta with the ball. I drive by, pass to Frazier inside, but it's blocked by Agravanis. Not a very good game so far for us. Floyd inside, and he gets the layup over Walker. We call a timeout. Our team has not been doing too good so far. We're not shooting too well, losing to our rivals, Lincoln High School. And they decided that this game was going to be a 10-minute quarters for 4 quarters. I never understood why, but I still don't understand why, and I make a terrible pass though, right there. Not the best pass. I'm a pretty good defender, but Evan Hardaway keeps finding his way open. Floyd tries to drive by, but nothing's really there. Takes the contested shot, but it's off. I'm driving on the right side, and I, for some reason, take the mid-range. I don't remember why, but Evan Hardaway already on the fast break, and he takes the shot, but it's off. I try to defend Sullivan, but my defense wasn't that good, but I pass into Walker, but he loses the ball. I give it to Frazier, but nothing there. I take the mid-range wide open, but I miss. I haven't had that good of a day so far. I try to contest Evan Hardaway, but it doesn't work. I decide I'm going to try and get something going here. I got him jumping, and I hit the green. Not the best quarter for us so far. Lincoln forced to call a timeout here. And I get subbed out. I get brought in second quarter with 8 minutes left. Down by 3. Sullivan gets the lob, but it's off. I'm going on the fast break, but I'm unable to get anything going. So I pass into Frazier for my 3rd assist. We're only 1 point behind. So we'll see if we can get anything going here, as we have Walker, Panko, and everyone else in the starting lineup out here. I try to predict this pass, but it's not working. The steal from Walker, I call for the pass, and I drive in for the contested layup, and that's a 2nd foul on Evan Hardaway. I missed the first shot again on the free throw line. My free throws have not been too good so far, but I was able to get the 2nd. Not the best game for us, as for me, pretty much, but it's still tied, luckily, so we're not in the worst situation. I left my man open, Evan Hardaway, and you just can't do that with Evan Hardaway. Trying to fix. I pass into Donta, but it's nothing really. I set the screen for Walker. I take the 3. It's not very contested, and I hit it over my defender. We already know that Evan Hardaway can really do damage, so we're trying to prevent him from scoring. Oscar Schultz decides to drive in, but he's way bigger than Nigel Walker, so it's not that hard to defend him. We pass into Walker, but he got blocked because he's not the biggest, not the tallest person. I try to steal it, but I miss. Oscar Schultz decides to take a 3, and he banks it. Got a little reaction from him, but was unable to really get really open there. I take a pretty bad shot there. I can't really get anything going. I contest Schultz, but Hardaway is able to get the rebound. As we're forced to call a timeout as we're down 5. It's not a very good game so far for us. Walker's unable to get open. I try to set its second screen, but that doesn't really work there. I try to get a steal, but it doesn't happen. But offensive 3-second violation is called on Agravanis. I bring up the ball, but not really working too well so far. I let Panko handle the ball. Three seconds left on the shot clock. Walker forced to take a fadeaway, but it's off. It's not been a very good game for us so far. I try to get the block, but it doesn't work, but I get the rebound with a good contest there. Pass up to Bledsoe. Tries to drive by Oscar Schultz, and he's able to get to the layup. It's the one thing about Dante Bledsoe. He's a pretty good ball handler, so if he's stuck down low, then he'll find a way to get by his defender with his dribbling skills. Gervanis tries to take the mid-range over Frazier, but it doesn't work. But Frazier ends up passing the ball to me. I get the steal, and I pass it to Walker, who dunks it for the and one. Hardaway already with 3 fouls, putting him in real foul trouble so far. This game has been pretty close throughout all of these. Throughout the quarters, Panko able to stop the lob. He decides to pass up to Walker. I try to pass to Bledsoe, but it doesn't work. Gets stolen. Not had the best game so far. Frazier leaves Agravanis open because he tried to cover Hardaway. I try to post up, but he doesn't budge. So I try to dribble by him. Very good defender. I drive by him, but nobody passes because he passes out to Walker before he can realize. Give to Bledsoe. He finds Frazier cutting inside, and we are able to get the bucket. It's been a very, very close game. We haven't shot the best, but I get back out to contest Hardaway. I'm on the fast break. I pass into Dante Bledsoe, and he gets the layup. That gives me 5 assists on the game. I'm trying to show that I can handle the ball and I can dish to my teammates. I really want to try and impress the scouts that may be at this game, because this is quite a big game. We start to get in a little bit of a run, but we already know Evan Hardaway is not going to give up. Agravanis is on Frazier, tries to post up, takes the shot, and he hits it over Frazier. I bring the ball up, but once again, as I've said multiple times, he's a very good defender. I drive past my defender off ball and able to get the pass from Panko and get the easy layup inside. I've had a pretty good stat line so far, but my defense isn't really showing in this game. I'm there for the contest, and I drive towards the basket. I pass it to Frazier, and I'd go out to the three and take it left wide open, and of course I'd hit that. I'm a pretty good three-point shooter, and I'm a pretty good defender. I'm a pretty good all-around player, but there are certain things I could work on. Nigel Walker fouls, and I get subbed out till half. We're up 43-38. It's a pretty close game, but I haven't really impressed them too much. Haven't really been the best so far. I was able to hit a few shots, but didn't shoot that well. They've been shooting way better, and they've been playing some good defense. Oscar Schultz was actually a pretty good performer for in the first half for the Bulldogs. And boy, do I hate the Bulldogs. They're always so annoying. They're like, we have all these championships. How about you? You don't have that many. They always brag. That's what I've always hated about them. That's probably where Evan Hardaway got why he's so expressive, because the type of school Lincoln High School is. We start the third quarter up with a few points as our lead. I have a pretty good stat line. I pick and fade to take the three, and I hit it. I've been shooting pretty good from three. Typically we like to run our starters and then our bench during any playoff. That's like the history of our team. That's how we've always rolled, even if our bench was really bad. But this team doesn't have that bad of a bench. We both have pretty equal teams. I call for the pick from Bledsoe. My passes on pick and rolls have not been the best. I asked for Frazier to pass it out because I don't want him to take another bad second chance shot. I set a screen for him, and I try to drive, and I take the very interesting layup, and I get it to go. But the thing is, Evan Hardaway is always back on the offensive. He's always up the court as Oscar Schultz gets left open. I drive in and get the layup past two defenders, but as we've seen, as it's been all game, Evan Hardaway is always all the way down the court, so you gotta really watch where he is. You can't leave him at any time. Oh, I almost passed. I thought of passing to Bledsoe, but then I remembered that would be a backcourt. I passed into Bledsoe, but he passes it back. I was able to get by Evan Hardaway, but was unable to get the shot to go. But as we've known through this game, he's always up the court, and I chase him down and get the block. I tried to dive for that steal. I'm trying to show that I also have hustle. That I will hustle for what I could possibly try and get. Evan Hardaway's pretty good at moving around, taking the screens. He's forced to take a pretty bad shot, but it goes in anyways. It's an 8-point game. We're up by 8. I almost said an illegal screen, but I passed to Frazier, and I tried to drive. I passed to Panko. He's forced to take the shot because of the shot clock. Frazier is able to tip it to Bledsoe, and he's able to get the putback over Schultz. We've been starting to pull ahead in this game. You already know Hardaway is going to take advantage of any mistake that you make. I let Bledsoe bring the ball up. I probably should have passed out, but I wanted to see if I could hit the layup. Floyd's trying to get by Walker, but Walker's a pretty good defender. Agravanis gets left open, and he's able to hit the mid-range. He's not known for the three, but he's pretty good at the mid-range. I drive in, take the layup, but it's blocked. I take another one. He gets blocked by Agravanis, but it was a foul on Hardaway. That's his 4th foul. This is surprising to me because typically he's not known to have gotten in foul trouble before. Bulldogs are forced to take a timeout. We're quite excited about this. We go over a game plan on how we're gonna stop them. We know that Trevor Sullivan is not a very good 3-point shooter. So for Panko, he doesn't really have to defend him out there. We were able to get the steal there, and Frazier was already on the fast break. He takes the mid-range, and he was able to hit it. Hardaway is able to get the mid-range. I was slacking on defense. My defense, sometimes I don't play too well. Sometimes I do. I keep having trouble posting up on Floyd. I pass to Frazier, who takes the 3, but it's off. Hardaway brings up the ball and finds Floyd with the open mid-range, but it was off. I pass into Panko, who takes the layup, and it goes in. He's very tightly defended. I never understood his haircut. He always had that mohawk, and he grew a beard. I don't know if it was real or not, but I pass into Walker, who's left wide open in the corner for 3. I'm really trying to show off that I can score, but I don't want to show that I'm a ball hog. I want to show that I can pass the ball to my teammates. As a small forward, you kind of have to know how to play like all kind of positions. I jumped on that one fake, but it didn't cost me too much. Floyd gets the floater and able to get it in. We call a timeout. It's a 13-point game, so we kind of pulled ahead, and it seems like we're probably going to win this game, but you can't leave them out of a game. But we still keep the lead. Hardaway able to stay with me. I set a terrible screen on the air. Don't know what I was doing. I have no idea what I was doing there. Sometimes I'm not the best with doing certain things. I leave Hardaway open, but of course he would hit the mid-range, so I tried to get out, but I couldn't get past my teammates. I pass into Frazier in the post. I drive in and I take the layup, but it's off. Defended by Floyd, but I get the steal and I get the easy dunk. I really want to show that I can hustle. And that's pretty good play for me, showing that I can play defense on fast breaks. Or if they're going to get a fast break, then I could stop them. I was able to get out real quick and contest the contest the three, but I turn it over. Hardaway was able to pass it into Sullivan, but it wasn't a very good pass. But Bledsoe fouls Trevor Sullivan, and he gets sent to the line. He misses the first one, which is very interesting, and then was able to make the second. It didn't seem like they were going to come back in this game. And considering how we were playing on defense and how our bench unit was doing, it didn't seem like it was going to be a close game. I stayed in the lead with a 3. You see the bench, one of the people on the bench is standing up. I never really got to know the bench because I never really played with the bench. They'd always seen me as a star, even though when I'd play in rec, I wasn't the best. I drive by Hardaway and I was able to get the dunk. I thought this was going to be a closer game, but it was not. I almost got the steal, but I was unable to get it. Floyd was really, from when he was on the court with me, he hasn't really gotten anything going. But Hardaway is able to get that layup inside to go. And I end up setting an illegal screen. I get really upset, but a teammate holds me back. I was really upset because I really did not think that it was a illegal screen. We left not Otis. I always tend to confuse him as Otis. I drive in for the layup and I get fouled by Floyd. I hit the first one and I was able to hit the second as well. I was perfect from 3-point range. So that's really helping to show that I have a good 3-point shot. I give it to Bledsoe and he's able to get the bucket. Lincoln High School calls a timeout and it seems like we're gonna win this game. Kind of all excited and hoping that we can not give up a humongous run, which we've had a tendency to do sometimes. That would send games to overtime, but I'd end up performing in overtime pretty well. The pass was a little bit off, but I give it into Frazier because he gets left open, and that gives me my 9th assist. Frazier had 8 points so far within these 3.5 quarters. I drive in and take the acrobatic layup and make it. I thought it could have been a foul on Hardaway, but I guess not. I tried to get the steal off the pass, but I was unable to. I pass it to Walker, who's left open in the corner, and that gives me my 10th assist, giving me a double-double, showing that I can do it all on the court. This game was really to try and impress the people who really doubted me, because I knew there would still be people who doubted me. I drive in and get fouled, but I missed the first free throw, and then I was able to get the second. I was not the most consistent from the free throw line, which has typically not been a problem for me, but this game it has been. I gave it to Bledsoe to take the 3 and he hits it. He's one of the few big men in the high schools that is able to hit the three. They pass into Oscar Schultz and he's able to hit it. He's one of the biggest people in the league. I gave it to Bledsoe, who's been taking over the game almost. I gave it into Bledsoe, who drives in and takes the dunk. I've played pretty good defense so far, but haven't really seen the best defense from my teammates sometimes. And my passing has not been the best during this game. I decide to drive by Hardaway and I get the layup to go. We were able to get the steal and Frazier was all the way on the fast break, so I decided to just stay at the half court line just in case if he was to miss and get the rebound. We were up by 30 at this point and the game was pretty much over. I tried to get anything to go, but nothing was really getting open. For some reason, I tried to take a shot, but faded away instead by I don't know what I was thinking in the moment. I tried to set screens, but he wouldn't take them. Decided to give it to Bledsoe and let him get something open. I ended up missing the shot, and Hardaway, as we've known through, he's shown that he's a hustle player. He hustles down the court. He's always one of the first people to get down court. Bledsoe would end up getting fouled by Trevor Sullivan. It's the first time I ever had a pretty big game. I ended up getting put in with some of the bench unit. Jeremy Ming was like the main person from the bench. Kobe Simmons tried to get something to go inside. I take the three and hit it over my defender, 3 Gonzalez. I've never really played against their bench because I'm always with the starters. And my coach never wants to change anything with the lineups. He always wants the lineups to be almost exactly the same. I decided to call quick isolation and just hold the ball for the rest of the game. We ended up winning 104-71. A pretty big game, and we ended up winning the title. But for some reason, they didn't have a ceremony. They typically had one, but for some reason they decided not to have one this year. I was kind of upset about that, but sometimes you gotta live with what they give you. Evan Hardaway still scored 16 points, 6 rebounds. He had a pretty good game considering the defense being played. Oscar Schultz was surprisingly pretty good with 12 points. And James Young on their bench really stepped up with 14 points off the bench. For us, it was me leading the team with 40 points, 6 rebounds, 12 assists, 2 steals, a block, but I did have 4 turnovers. And that is a key thing that the scouts looked at. Jeremy Ming ended up having 7 points from off the bench. And I ended up getting a phone call from a few teams, which included a bunch of Big Ten teams, that included Rutgers, Michigan, and Penn State. I was surprised Michigan State didn't call and ask to get me, but I guess that's where I might go. I was hoping I would get a scholarship to Rutgers, and that's what I saw, but Michigan had seemed like a very interesting team, and I heard that they were really trying to get Lambros and me together. But I really don't know what I'm going to choose. I'm really going to have to think about that.